Steve Buscemi here, and yeah, my how now brown cow, how now brown cow. Right, my New Year's resolution this year was to do this more often because I really thought it would help with my diction and my confidence, and both of those have fucked up in the last 15 seconds. The hell's my Yeah, I woke up from a nap like a few hours ago and I haven't done my hair yet. Well, I'm going to the bath in a second anyway, but I didn't really want to do it. So I thought I kind of rocked the bed hair today, which I'm not really a second thought, but I'm too lazy to actually do it now because I have to get up in the morning. I have to get up in the morning. It's so refreshing to have something to get up to because I've just picked up some shifts at this little community theatre. Well, not community theatre, like a theatre cinema dealie. Um, a few times over because right, I'm gonna say this now. My boyfriend comes from a small, just trying to think, a small town in Canada, and it still has a multiplex. It still has a Starbucks, a shopping mall, Tim Hortons. A small town here. I live in a town of 2,000 people. 2,000 people. We have a Tesco's, which is a food store. We have farm foods. We have little. They're also food stores. We have co-op, newsagents, takeaways, um, home bargains, hairdressers. We have like so many little tiny things. We don't have like anywhere we're spending money. We don't have like a HMV where they're going best. We don't have, you know, like clothes shops or anything. If I want to go clothes shopping or I want a new DVD or I want to get some books or a game, something, I have to, take a 45-minute bus or something. Or learn to drive, which I've tried before, did not go well. And where was I? Oh, yeah. So basically, I got picked up some shifts at this theatre cinema place, and I'm really excited for it. I think that the interview went really well. It was a while ago, so there was some complications along the way that I'm not going to go into because of reasons. And yeah, I think it's kind of like I'm kind of nocturnal because it's a combination of not having anything to do in the daytime and the fact that my boyfriend is 8 hours behind. So it's like I'm up a lot of the time, like late at night, so I can talk to him, and he's up a lot of the time late at night, so he can talk to me. So it's kind of like really messed up my sleeping patterns, and yeah. So I'm hopefully once I got that kind of schedule, maybe it'll help me do this more often because it's one of the things. It's like I wanted to do it, and I've tried it a few times, and I've gone on with it for a while. Once I was usually just once or twice. Once I was in like a cool lab thing, and I did it for like a good like 3-4 months, and everyone else dropped out after like 1 month, and I was just on my own once a week. Just hi, I'm pineapple of a fruit salad or something like that, and it was basically all gay things. We talked about gay issues, but the idea was that we'd have like a set kind of theme for a week. So week one it was just like basic introductions and 10 facts about yourself. And I had some really interesting ones. I had some stupid ones, but I had some interesting ones. Like I speak Welsh, and yeah, I'm bilingual, but the second language I speak is basically Elvish. Well, it's not. Yeah, well, it's not literally Elvish, but it's basically Elvish because Tolkien was a linguist, basically. The whole basis of Lord of the Rings was he wanted an excuse to make up his own language, which I found fascinating. You get like people doing these things for the weirdest reasons, but Elvish is basically based on Welsh. I can't read Elvish, can't speak Elvish, but I can speak Welsh. So, you'd think I'd pick it up quite easy if I ever wanted to delve into that whole nerdiness kind of thing. I mean, I'm already a nerd, but I'm not a Lord of the Rings nerd. I am a community nerd and a Doctor Who nerd. I'm a human being and a Whovian. And there's no real need for Murakami nerds. There should be a need for Murakami nerds. And I'm kind of a Hunger Games nerd, but I'm more of a Battle Royale nerd. And I'm kind of like Hunger Games is kind of not as good as Battle Royale. It's not a rip-off, it's just not as good. And it's not because I read it first, it's just because I really like how you learn about so much more about the characters in Battle Royale apart from just like the main three. You don't get characters described as the boy with the club foot or the girl from District 7. And yeah, yeah, and the other week we did gay books and just like what are your favourite gay books, and I did Hero, Poppy Bright, Identity of Souls. Um, I think I talked about Dennis Cooper, but that wasn't a favourite thing. That was more because I'd read The Sluts just a few weeks before, and it was the most profoundly disturbing book I've ever read. It still is to this day the most disturbing book I have ever read, and it's one of those books where it gets to a point where it gets so bad you just want to stop reading it. It just messes with your head. But I knew if I stopped reading it, I'd just keep playing over and over and over like the worst things. And there's a part where like this guy gets castrated and forced to eat his own balls while he gets fucked, and that was disturbing. That was oh, I mean, I like I kind of like disturbing books. It's the same kind of thing. Like I think that as humans we have a fascination with the dark and the macabre. Is that right? Macabre, wherever it is. Just look at horror movies. Just look at Saw and Hostel, and just like so many gory for the sake of gory movies. It's just over the top hyper violence, basically. And that was the first time I've ever read a book like that, where it's like that in like a literary format. And it was a really fascinating book, but it's not the kind of book I'd read again. It's kind of like the book you'd read once, kind of. So yeah, I don't have a cassette theme for any weeks, and I probably should because it probably helped me a lot because it'd be like less me rambling and more me saying, me having something to say. So maybe I should start doing something like that, even if it's just like, I don't know, like a video a week where I read a chapter of Twilight and critique it because I kind of thought that would be a good idea. You see, Let's Plays, I thought maybe if it'd be if someone's like a Let's Read, like I read terrible books so you don't have to. And I have to admit, I have read all the Twilight books, and the first time I read them, I was about 15, 16, and I liked them. And then the last one came out, and I was like, oh, I've got to read them all. And then I read them all before the last one, and I realized how terribly written they were and how offensive in a huge number of ways. And then I read the last one, and it's basically fan fiction. It's just like someone else just wrote it because that's how they wanted the story to end, and it makes no sense. So I thought that's quite funny, if I could just like read it, make jokes. And then I'd be like PS from Community when he's doing the bad film nights, and he's just like got all his jokes planned out, and he can't do them organically because I think that's my thing. I can't tell jokes. I think I'm funny because I can't tell jokes in a funny way. Like the humor comes from how pathetic my attempts at humor are, and there's other things as well. Like I think I'm funny because I fall over a lot and I'm clumsy and I'm ditzy, and my boyfriend thinks I look like Goofy. What do you think? Do I? Do I look like Goofy? Yeah. Um. Yeah, that's always nice when your boyfriend says that about you. When he says you look like Goofy. And I just respond with, you look like every Japanese, Korean, or Chinese person I've ever met. And that usually shuts him up because he doesn't like Chinese for some reason. And, oh, I don't know. He's not racist, but he doesn't like Chinese people who don't learn English when they're in English countries, I guess. So I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, I'm kind of spacey. Um, yeah. Well, as I said, I did these videos, and I wanted to do them more in the new year to kind of improve my confidence and my diction, and because I think I'm more. I have thoughts, and I'm smart. I know I don't seem smart, but I've got a degree and I've done loads of writing and stuff. So I am good with words as well because you know I'm good with writing. Like I got like really good marks on my final screenplay project over 100 pages, so I know I'm good with writing. It's like stop it around the bush. If you know you're smart, don't broadcast it. I don't try. I don't think I tried to broadcast it, but I know I am, and I know I'm good with words, but I can't really articulate my thoughts when I'm speaking. I do it much easier when I'm writing. But then it's kind of a double-edged sword because I can't read from a script without making it really obvious and reading from the script. I can't make it organic. I have to have bullet points, but then I trip over my words again. And it's really bad. And I think that these videos really help me because they'll really help with things like job interviews and stuff. As for writing, I'm so excited. I've got 10 chapters left. I'm a writer, as I said before, and my current project, it's something I was toying with it about between being like 18 and 20, and then in my last year of uni, because when I was 20 to 21, I decided to adapt it into a screenplay instead. And then since last summer, I decided to scrap everything I already had about from the novel, and then like kind of half adapted from the screenplay and half write new sections, which I had cut out from like my original treatment because the novel was only about I think I got like 3 or 4 chapters in, and I'm literally about 30 chapters into this one I'm doing now, and I'm so excited. I've only got 10 chapters left because it got to the point where I was like, I need to know how far I am from the end because I hit 50,000 words, and so I counted, and I like just said like chapter one. Oh, it wasn't like chapter one. It was like reasons ago, chapter one, and I said what would happen in chapter one, and then I just did that. And I'm like 10 chapters away from the end, and I'm so excited because the only time I've ever finished something really large scale was when I finished my screenplay, and I just got this really huge feeling of euphoria. I did it, and like I'm really excited to get that feeling again and just know that I've accomplished writing a novel. Because I've always wanted to be a novelist. I've wanted to be a filmmaker as well. I've always wanted to be a novelist. I've always been a really huge reader. So, how much longer do I have? Fuck, I've rambled. Um, yeah. Give it a few months. I might be done. I might have a completed novel, and then I'll just be editing and then trying to sell it to publishers or Kindle or looking into publishers who want it because it's kind of gay and it's one of those things. Like I don't know any publishers that do big gay things. I know Penguin does some, and there's some other ones that are mostly American based from my experience. So it's just a case of finding it and trying to sell it, and then one day adapting it into a screenplay again, and um, filming it. Hopefully with the money I make from writing the book. So yeah, I also hit 300 Tumblr followers today in my main blog and 273 in my other one, so that's impressive to me. I know it sounds really stupid to be so impressed and have small numbers, but I'm like Sheldon from Big Bang Theory when he hits 100 to 100 Twitter followers. And yeah, so wish me luck for tomorrow. If you're not watching this, well, you're probably gonna be watching this like later, lots and lots of time later. So wish me luck no, not posthumously. That's stupid. Wish me luck in the past. and I'll try to do this more often. And thank you. I've been Steve Buscemi, and you've been patient. Bye.